Can you imagine being able to double your money without having to work more hours, without asking for a raise, without starting a business, just letting money work for you? It sounds like a dream, right? But there's a mathematical formula so simple, it fits on a napkin, and it's been used by bankers, investors, and ordinary people for centuries. A formula that doesn't require a complicated calculator or a PhD in finance. Today I'm going to tell you the story of the Rule of 72, the simplest way to calculate how long it takes your money to double. And we'll do it together, step by step, with real-life examples, anecdotes, and tricks that will help you understand it once and for all. Stay until the end, because what you learn today can mark a before and after in your financial life. Chapter 1. The Discovery of a Magic Rule. I want you to imagine you're in the 15th century. At a small wooden table, a Venetian banker is explaining to a merchant how his money will grow if he keeps it with him. The merchant, confused by the formulas, asks, "Explain it to me more simply." That banker couldn't have known, but he was about to use what we now call the Rule of 72, a way to simplify the complex world of compound interest. The rule is as follows. Take the number 72 and divide it by the annual percentage return on your investment. The result is the approximate number of years it will take for your money to double. Example, if your bank pays you 2% per year, 72 divided by 2 equals 36 years. If you invest in something that gives you 8% per year, 72 divided by 8 equals 9 years. See the difference? These aren't just numbers, it's your lifespan. It's the difference between retiring peacefully or working until your last day. Chapter 2. The True Power of Compound Interest. Let me tell you a story. A king wanted to reward a wise inventor of chess. The wise man asked for something seemingly insignificant. Put 1 grain of rice on the first square of the board, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, and so on until the last. The king agreed, until he realized he would need more rice than the entire kingdom had. That's the magic of exponential growth. And the same thing happens with money when compound interest comes into play. Let's give some close examples. A person leaves their money in a savings account at 1%. It would take them more than 70 years to double it. Another person invests in an index fund at 10%. Their money doubles in just 7 years. The difference isn't thousands, it's millions when we think long term. Chapter 3. Real life and local applications. Now, how do we apply this in real life? The stock market. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned 7 to 10% annually. That means, on average, money doubles every 7 to 10 years. Real estate. A rented apartment not only generates income, it can also increase in value. With a net annual return of 6%, you double your money in 12 years. Cryptocurrencies, the risky side. Yes, they can rise 200% in a year, but they can also fall 80%. Here the Rule of 72 becomes a roller coaster. Inflation. This is the dark side, because if inflation is 6% annually, your money will have lost half its value in 12 years. Let me repeat. The same rule that tells you when you double your money also tells you when you lose it to inflation. Chapter 4. How to use the ruler in your daily life. Now let's do it together. I want you to think about yourself, about your money. How much do you have saved? What interest rate is it growing at? Divide 72 by that number. If you have $10,000 in the 1% account, then in 72 years you'll have $20,000. If you invest at 8%, then in 9 years you'll have $20,000. And in 18 years, $40,000. And in 27 years, $80,000. This isn't magic. It's not an empty promise. It's pure, simple math. And best of all, you don't need to start with millions. Even with €100 a month in an index fund, time and compound interest can work wonders. Chapter 5. Conclusion. In the end, the big question isn't whether you can double your money, but what you're willing to do today to make your money work for you. The Rule of 72 isn't a secret trick of the rich. It's there, within everyone's reach, waiting for you to use it. So now, it's your turn. Do the math with your money. See how long it would take to double it. Ask yourself if you're happy with that answer. If the answer is no, it's time to take action. Remember, time will pass the same way whether you invest or not. The difference is where you'll be in 10, 20 or 30 years. Chapter 6. The Psychology of Time and Money. Let me ask you something. What is worth more, €1 today or €1 10 years from now? Most people would say they're the same, but they aren't. This is where the psychology of money comes into play, and what in finance is called the time value of money. €1 today can be invested and grow. €1 10 years from now, on the other hand, will be hit by inflation. For example, imagine you leave €100 in cash under your mattress. If inflation is 3% annually, in 24 years, those €100 will be worth half as much in terms of purchasing power. The same rule of 72 confirms this. 72 divided by 3 equals 24. So in reality, saving money without moving it is like slowly losing it. Time is a silent thief, but it can also be your greatest ally if you understand how to use it to your advantage. Chapter 7. The Hidden Enemy. Commissions. Now let's talk about something almost no one mentions when talking about investing. Fees. Seems like a small thing, right? A 1% annual fee doesn't sound like much, but let me show you how it destroys your results. Imagine you invest $10,000 at 8% for 30 years. Without fees, you'd end up with about $100,000. Now add a 1% fee. Your net return will be 7%. The result? Just $76,000. That small 1% cost you $24,000. Here, the rule of 72 comes into play again. At 8%, you double your money every 9 years. At 7%, it takes more than 10 years. Fees, although invisible, lengthen the time it takes to double your money. And that lost time never comes back. Chapter 8. The Rule of 72 Reverse. So far, we've used the rule to calculate how long it takes to double your money. But did you know it can also be used the other way around? Let's say you want to double your money in 12 years. You simply divide 72 by 12, which equals 6. That means you need a 6% annual return. This is incredibly powerful because it allows you to set clear goals. Do you want to double your money in 6 years? You need 12% annually. In 18 years, 4% is enough. 4% is... It's not just about waiting for the miracle of compound interest, but about having a financial roadmap that tells you which paths are realistic and which are impossible. And this is where strategy comes into play. Diversify, learn, manage risks, and above all, start as soon as possible. Chapter 9. Dangerous Shortcuts. When people discover the rule of 72, many want to go faster. If it takes me 9 years at 8%, what happens if I go after something at 30% or 40%? And yes, in theory, you would double your money in just 2 or 3 years. But this is where dangerous shortcuts appear. Miracle investments, pyramid schemes, unknown cryptocurrencies, businesses that promise unrealistic returns. The rule of 72 doesn't distinguish between safe investments and scams. It just calculates. And it's your responsibility to distinguish what's sustainable and what isn't. Real-life example, Bernie Madoff promised a fixed 12% annual return. According to the rule of 72, that means doubling your money in 6 years. It sounded too good to be true, and it was. It was the biggest financial fraud in history. The lesson is clear. If someone promises to double your money too quickly and without risk, you're probably facing a wolf in sheep's clothing. Chapter 10. From money to legacy. I want to end with a thought. Doubling your money isn't just a matter of accumulating more zeros in a bank account. What's really important is what you'll do with that money when the time comes. Think about it this way. If you start today and your money doubles every 10 years, in 30 years you'll have 8 times what you initially invested. It's not just wealth, it's the opportunity to leave a legacy. Pay for your children's education, create a fund to help your family, donate to causes you believe in, or simply give yourself the freedom to live life on your own terms. The Rule of 72 isn't just math, it's a tool for dreaming big and deciding who you want to be in the future. Because in the end, it's not just about doubling your money, it's about multiplying your possibilities. If you want more tips like this, subscribe to the channel and share this video, because understanding the math of money is the first step toward financial freedom.